Well, good morning. Good morning. Come on in. We're waiting on you. It is another Tuesday and we are triumphant in every situation. Well, welcome to Triumphant Living Today. I'm your host, Charlotte Perry. And today we have another amazing show just for you. It is Triumphant. What? Put it in the comment section. It is Triumphant Tuesday, and it is the month of October, and we have another great topic. Our topic this month is healthy body, healthy mind. And today we have an amazing guest with us. We're excited to have her, and the topic is today. Today is self-care. That is trending lately, especially since the pandemic. Many people are still at home and now have time to better care for their families and themselves. With us today is Tomeka Blanks, a self-care advocate and a member of Word of Restoration. She's a student at Dallas Theological Seminary, where she is completing her final semester. Let's give it up for Tomeka. Yes, where she's completing her final semester in Christian education program. She is a Christian blogger, skincare consultant, and makeup artist. She resides in Houston, Texas, with her beautiful daughter, Tamia. Let's give it up for Tamia. Yeah, I love Tamia. Tamia is a blessing, and she's smart. Please help us, and let's welcome Tomeka Blanks. Give us some hearts, give us some hand claps. Welcome, Tomeka.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lady Perry. I am honored to be on your show today. It's such a blessing to be able to be here with my mentor and my first lady and just the wonderful, wonderful woman that you are, seeing how God is using you with Triumphant Living and Triumphant Tuesday. So thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your show.
Well, thank you so much. We're excited, and we know that God is doing so many amazing things in your life. And, today we're going to talk about self-care, and we're going to let you share with us and just tell us what we need to do, maybe even spank our hands for things we're not doing. I know Tomeka has done my makeup several times, and she does a beautiful job. She's done others, and, she is gifted for what she does. And so today, this month alone, we have some great plans. As a matter of fact, at the end of the program, we're going to do some giveaways. And so what I want to do now is let's let Tomeka introduce herself, and she's going to tell us what self-care means, what it really means. That's something new that we're kind of here, but she's going to tell us what it really means.
All right. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here. Hello to everyone watching. Thank you for tuning in. So Lady Perry, you already covered the gist of me, a lifelong learner, student at Dallas Theological Seminary. I'm a mother. I'm a Christian. I'm a church member.
How many children do you have?
Oh, I'm a mother of four children.
Okay.
The oldest is 21. The youngest is 16. Mm-hmm. And I also have a grandbaby who is 1 year. He's my heart.
Yes.
So just like many of the people watching today, I'm a friend. I am a daughter. I'm a cousin. I'm a niece. All those many titles that we have. And I absolutely love and have a heart for women. Encouraging women and empowering women is my passion. It's something that I absolutely love to do. It's ministry. I absolutely love ministry. And so that's basically who I am. When it comes to self-care, I found a definition online, dictionary.com as a matter of fact, that says self-care is the practice of taking an active role in one's own well-being and happiness, in particular in stressful situations. And I found that definition to be spot on because there's a lot of keywords in there that stand out to me. It's a practice. It's taking an active role. It's protecting your well-being and your happiness. And so that means self-care should be the norm for us. It should not be something that we feel is a chore. It should be something that we practice on a regular basis. because the Bible tells us that above everything else, we have to guard our hearts, right? So that means as long as I'm taking time out to care for myself, making sure that my cup gets filled, I can continue doing the work of raising my kids or taking care of my father or being there for my church or whatever our responsibilities are. People burn out because they don't take care of themselves.
Yes,
So
if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot be a blessing to others.
that's right.
You have to take a break or take a pause so that you can be a blessing to others.
Right. So that's what self-care is really all about. It's about taking care of yourself and filling your cup. My journey with self-care began in 2013. I was being seen at a weight loss clinic because at that time I really wanted to have weight loss surgery, you know.
Wow.
And the funny thing about weight loss surgery is you don't just go in and say, I want the surgery, and then they put you on the table. That's not how it goes. They actually make you go through meeting with a nutritionist and a dietitian and getting on a weight management plan so that when you do have the surgery, you've already formed the good habits that you need that will help you post surgery so that you can keep the weight off and not go backwards. So I was meeting with the dietitian, and when you meet with a dietitian, it's weekly. And so I would go and give her my food diary and she would weigh me. Well, one week I went in, I gained weight. The following week I went in, I had gained more weight. And she let me have it. She's like, what are you doing? If you can't do this now before the surgery, you're definitely not going to
Oh my
do it
God.
afterwards.
This is so amazing. We just had this conversation yesterday about the same topic and how important discipline is before the surgery.
Yes, exactly. So that was her job, was to get me disciplined. And so she laid into me, she let me have it. And I guess she could see the sadness in my face. I wanted to be defensive, but I mean, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. She's looking through my diary. She's like, you had sweet tea, you had this, you had that. But after getting on me, she said, you know what, Tomeka, I get it. You know, you're in school, you're raising 4 small children. It's so easy to go and grab that cheeseburger and grab that sweet tea. She said, but you're going to have to tell your kids, no, we're not going to eat McDonald's today. No, we're not going to have pizza tonight. And she said, this is what she said that changed everything for me. She said, it's not being selfish. It's called self-preservation. Self-preservation. I said, man, that's it right there. Because like she said, if you can't overcome this, if you can't defeat obesity, you know, you have your high blood pressure, these are things that are going to shorten your lifespan. So you've got to take charge, you know, you got to. So long story short, I ended up not getting the weight loss surgery because God blocked that. And I'm thankful for it now. But it taught me the power of sometimes I got to say no. You know, I have to, it's about what's best for me. And a lot of times we get caught in pleasing, you know, we want to please everybody. And that's how our cup gets empty. And then we can't serve effectively and adequately when our priority is everyone else and we never prioritize ourselves.
Yeah. When I looked up the synonyms for self-care, I came up with self-image, health care, mental health care. That's going to be one of our topics this month. Self-aid, maintenance. You know, we'll take a car, we'll take we'll get maintenance on our air condition, so maintenance on ourselves, and then personal care, making it personal and about you.
Right.
That's what I picked up. So let's talk. I have a few questions for you. So social media presents us, you know, lots of images and messages that seem to be practicing self-care. But what would you say is not an example of self-care?
So I see so many times, especially in my social media friend group, you know, I have a good mixture of saints and ain'ts. So I see a lot of images of women who have gone out to happy hour with their girlfriends, or they've gone clubbing, with their girlfriends, and it's hashtag self-care. That is not self-care.
Right.
That's not self-care, because the reality is when you go out to happy hour with your girlfriends, you're carrying everything with you. And what I mean by that is you're still carrying the stress of the job, or what's going on at home, or who upset you that day. And when you get to happy hour with your girlfriends, what are y'all going to talk about? Those things that you're carrying.
Yeah.
And by that second drink in, your problems are now magnified times 10. And then
Right.
you drive home and everything is still there. You didn't really use happy hour as a place to release.
Right.
So that's not really self-care. That's just going out with your girlfriends and having drinks. But also, self-care is not something that you don't enjoy doing. And I have to stress that, because a lot of times someone might know what you're going through and they may suggest, hey, girl, why don't we go shopping, or check out this or check out that? And it may be something that you really don't enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you go because, you want to be supportive of your friend or not tell your friend no. But then the whole time you're there, you're regretting, being there. So self-care is not something that you don't enjoy. And
Right.
then also, I want to just piggyback off of what my dietitian said, and that is self-care is not selfish. And just like you said, when you looked up the different things, self-care is personal. It's about you.
Mm-hmm.
It is about you. So don't allow someone to make you feel that when you start prioritizing yourself, the first thing the people that are the closest to you will say is, why are you doing that? Why are you buying this? Why are you going there? Because it's what makes me happy. Because it's about me. Because it's about filling my cup. And you have to own that. That's what that active role is. Owning that. So self-care is definitely not selfish.
I think when people are used to seeing you with another pattern and then you change it, then they want to know, well, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Well, you changed on them, and then they're trying to understand what has changed is coming
Mm-hmm.
from, or what are you doing? So then they begin to question or say, maybe you don't need all that, or maybe you don't need to go here or there, or you don't need to do that. But if that makes you happy, I mean, I am pretty much, I don't have to have a whole lot to make me happy, relax. I enjoy a lot of things, but that's certain things don't make me happy. And just because that makes you happy, I don't have a problem saying I don't like that, or I don't want to do that, because
Right.
I mean, I don't want to waste my time doing that. My time to me is precious. So I mean, I'll support you, but I may not do it. So it's okay to say no, and you have to be comfortable saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Where the self-care begins?
So, what self care means, in some ways to practice self care, it is knowing who you are and your limitations. There's no way you can take care of yourself if you don't know who you are and what your needs are and what your limits are. So, I would say that that's the first thing. It's knowing who you are, your needs, and your limitations. Because again, you're protecting your well being, and that's your spiritual well-being, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, your physical well-being. All those beings need to be synergized and on the same wavelength and happy, because if one is off, it can throw the other one off. I can walk in looking like $1,000,000, but inside I
And
feel like
you're so
I'm
right.
-2 cents.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in the negative. I'm negative $1,000,000, because maybe there's something going on mentally or emotionally or spiritually, especially spiritually. If my spirits aren't in the right place, it dampers over into those, it spills over into those other things. So definitely knowing who you are. And then what we've already said, being able to say no. You've got to emphatically and unapologetically say no. And I heard someone say this: the word no is a complete sentence. Hey, girl, you want to go to the movies?
Period.
Exactly.
But
Do you
really,
want to? No.
I'm a nice kind of person. I'll make adjustments if okay, I need to do that. But there are sometimes I can't go any further. I
Yeah.
can't do anymore, and I just say no. Thank you, but no.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the end of it. And people have to know that you mean it, and it's not being rude, it's not being nasty. Like you said, my time is valuable to me. I am working toward things that I want to accomplish in my life. And this particular thing that you're asking me to do at this moment in time, I don't have time for. I can't invest any time and energy in that. And you have to say no, and if that person doesn't like it or doesn't talk to you again, TD Jake said you got to learn the gift of goodbye, baby. That's just what that's just what it is.
And it's okay. It's how you say anything. It's how
Yeah.
and even sometimes you can say it right, but it just no, thank you. I'm not interested. I'm not gonna do that this weekend, or I'm gonna
Right.
I'm gonna rest this weekend. And that's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me no, that's fine. I can't do anything. What I'm gonna do? Drag you out the house? So no means no. So
Right.
you're saying that self-care begins on the inside.
Yeah.
So whatever's going on the inside really determines what comes on the outside. It's just like what we say, what comes out of our mouth. It's because of sometimes of things that are going on the inside. And
Mm-hmm.
so how do we begin that self-care on the inside?
So the greatest example of self-care is actually found in scripture. It's in the gospels with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I just love Jesus in that anytime he needed to get away, the Bible says he withdrew. He withdrew from the disciples, from the crowds, from the synagogues, from the noise, from having to perform the miracles, all these things. And Jesus, he was God. We know that. But in order to keep doing
Mhm.
what he was put here to do, Jesus had to withdraw from it all and go somewhere alone. The Bible always says we when the disciples are looking for him and they find him, Jesus was alone praying to God,
Mhm.
getting his cup filled. And so I think that that's where we start. A lot of self-care activities, some of them can be group, but I think the majority of them really should be done alone, because self-care is about you. It's about you and your needs, and you have to pull away. You have to withdraw from your responsibilities, from your families, from your life, from your emails, your text messages, your social media accounts, and you have to go discover you, especially as a believer. God is always doing something in our lives. And
Mhm.
I know for me, when there is a shift taking place, or when I am in need of a shift to happen in my life, I will withdraw. I remember one time I went to you, Lady Perry, and I'm like, for 3 days, I'm on a sabbatical. Now, I
Mhm.
didn't have money to go up to the mountains and stay in a log
You
cabin.
need money for that.
That's
You
right.
you just need to be alone. You just need to find a spot that you could be alone where you have your.
Exactly.
That's it. So for
Exactly.
those
And
that are
so that's
talking
what I
about, I
did. I
need money.
dropped.
I was saying for those that say I need money so I can go here, there. There may be a desire, but you don't have to start there. You can start right there at home if you can, have the.
That's right. And that's exactly what I did. I dropped my daughter off with my dad. No phone, no social media, no nothing. I even fasted for those days because a shift had taken place and I needed clarity to what God was doing, because even though I didn't know the exact details of everything going on, I knew that there was something being required of me and
Mhm.
I needed to go get my cup filled. So
Right.
that's where it starts. I was at a leadership conference a few years ago. It was a women's leadership conference, and the speaker brought a teacup and a saucer to the
Mhm.
stage. and she filled that teacup to overflowing. And
Mm-hmm.
then the overflow was caught in the saucer.
On the
And
sauce.
she said, you should always serve from the overflow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we should be serving from, the overflow. We shouldn't, filling our cup should be such a priority in our lives. Regularly
Mm-hmm.
filling our cup should be such a priority in our lives that when we're pouring, when we're giving, when we're sowing, it should start from the overflow
Mm-hmm.
and then come from the reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so good. So finding out, it does begin inside. What does it take to feel me? And you'll find out, like you said, it's not things, it's
No.
not having a lot of money, all of that stuff that blows with the wind. Finding out what does it take to make me feel good, to get my mental, my emotional, my spiritual, my physical
Emotional.
intact.
That is so good because emotionally, sometimes people are not even aware of what's going on because their emotions are all over the place. Whatever is going on in their life, they feel like they don't have answers, and you need to get somewhere and be still for a moment. Talk to someone that you need to pray, go on a fast. You need to seek God during that time so you can find out, God, what is going on, and He will definitely answer you. You
Mhm.
just need to be still and He'll answer you. So I have another question here. How important is the support system for self-care?
You know, we would all love to have people, to support us, when we get ready to prioritize our needs, over somebody else, especially in a certain period. Like, say you're going off for sabbatical, you want your family and your friends to be supportive of that. And I think that is important because it will help you to go away with more peace of mind,
Yes.
right? Knowing that everything's going to be okay. Whoever you're entrusting the home or the kids or the job to, it's all going to be, okay. And you'll come back finding it the way that you left it. But
Right.
I want to say, don't be discouraged if you find that you don't have the support. Because maybe at first you won't have it, until you go, do something for yourself, and then you come back and then your family sees, well, oh my God, Tomeka not tripping today. Like, she in a good mood. Then maybe that will make them encourage you, like, girl, go, go.
Mhm.
you
Right.
know, that's what you want. So if you have the support, great. It is important. Like I said, it gives you that peace. But even if you don't let that be a reason to keep you from doing for yourself and taking care of yourself.
Right. And even if you have a family, children, baby, husband, whatever in the house, even if you ask them, hey, on Thursday, I need 2 hours. And that's maybe from 9 to 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. I know someone that does that. From 9
Hmm.
to 11 p.m. is her time in the house where she can not washing and cleaning and cooking, but and watch, even answering, helping the kids. No, that's her quiet time, and she made her own spa in the house. The money's not there, and that's okay. You have a bathtub, a shower, give yourself a facial, or whatever you need. That's one day a week, 2 hours that someone gets for away from her family. And I mean,
Right,
whatever adjustment you need to make, find a way so you can get what you need.
right.
So, what are some things you personally practice for self care?
Uh, okay. So one thing that I do like the lady you just mentioned. I love a hot bubble bath and putting on a mask, soaking in the tub. I might bring a book in there with me. I might play soft music. But there's something about that bath and that mask, it just relaxes me. And it's really doing so much for me, especially when I'm masking. I'm taking care of my skin, I'm getting the load off, I'm releasing, I'm de-stressing. So that's one of the things that I enjoy. I also, because my daughter Tamia, she just started working. and she works in the evening. And at first I was like, well, what are you gonna do every day while she's at work? And but then I figured it out real quick.
Mhm. I'm sitting there thinking, what? You asked a question?
So another thing that I do for me, because I love to dance, and
Yeah.
dancing makes me feel good. So
Mhm.
I will light my candles, because I also love candles.
Oh, I
I'll light
love
my
candles.
candles and connect my speaker and play some music and just dance around the entire living room by myself.
Oh, wow.
That's something that I really enjoy doing. And I also I began exercising regularly once the pandemic started.
Hmm.
So that's something that it definitely also helps to get things off, and it really helps to clear my mind when I exercise, I've discovered. So
Right.
that's really good for my self-care. And I think that would be good for a lot of people. And lastly, I am just like Jesus. I withdraw and I go spend that time alone with the Father. I think that's one of the best things that I can do that helps all of my beings,
Yeah.
is getting that time away with God. Because as a single mom, and we're in this pandemic, there's so much going on, there's so much uncertainty. The enemy likes to flood in, and make you think just because things appear one way, that it means this, and I have to, like, sometimes I'm good at, batting that thought out. And
Hmm.
then other times, like, it will put me, like Apostle said, I'll slip in, slip into a depression, or thinking, oh my God, I'm worried or I'm panicked. And so I need to go, alone and
Right.
be with God, so I can refresh, and He can retrain my thoughts and refocus them, and just remind me, of His promises and His word. So that's definitely one thing that I prioritize, that time alone with God. I need that because it helps me physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yeah. Thank you for that. But I want to just thank you for those of you who are just joining us. I want to thank you for joining us and being a part of the program on today. We're talking about self care, and we have Tomeka Blanks with us. She's a self advocate for self care, and she's a makeup artist and a Christian blogger and many other things. So she has a long list, but I'm excited to have her. So, for those of you who are just joining us, thank you so much. And we will continue our second half of the program. So, thank you so much. Okay, Tamika, I had a question for you about makeup.
Okay.
I know you do makeup. Tell us a little bit about how important it is to take care of your skin.
Oh, Lady Perry, I love talking about this.
Mhm.
Taking care of your skin is uber ultra important.
Mhm.
I facial so many women, or do makeup for so many women, and I meet them and I'm like, okay, well, what are you using for skincare? Oh, I just use a makeup remover wipe. Oh, I just rinse it off in the shower. And I've even met some that say they don't wash their face at all. You could literally pick me up off the floor after hearing that. And so we've got to, when people see you,
Mhm.
your face is the very first thing that they see, and instantly people start categorizing. She's light, she's dark, she's tall, she's short, she's skinny, she's fat, because they start, categorizing you based on your appearance. When you present yourself, your face, especially now everything is virtual, you want to present the best possible face that you can. And makeup does not allow you to do that if you are not first taking care of your skin. Skincare is the first step. So, just like brushing our teeth, we're supposed to brush our teeth twice a day, right? Morning and night. You're supposed to wash your face morning and night. That is the basic, wash and moisturize. I tell people, because skincare, good skincare, can be expensive.
Right.
But the basics to get you started, to just get you in there, is a cleanser and a moisturizer. You have to do that. And you need a moisturizer with SPF because we live in Texas. It's hot 10 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And the skin is very, very damaging. The sun is very damaging to the skin. You
Yeah.
know, people wonder why they have dark spots and hyperpigmentation and things of that nature. It's because of the sun. So you want to make sure you're using a moisturizer with SPF so you get that sun protection.
Yes. What about the lips?
Hmm.
I know one time you put a scrub on my lips.
Yes. So along with skincare, so the basic washing and moisturizing, but then when you can, you want to add supplements in. The very first supplement I think should be added in is exfoliation. And
Okay.
I'm a skincare consultant with Mary Kay, and so I did satin lips on your lips is what I did one day while doing your makeup or before doing your makeup, because you want to get the dead skin cells off. And unfortunately, even though you're washing your face twice a day, every day you shed skin. And just the simple washing it in the shower or with a cloth or even with a spin brush, because that's the most effective tool you can use, you don't remove all the dead skin.
Yeah.
So exfoliating is something that should be added as your supplement. Exfoliation is done twice a week. And on the lips with satin lips, you can actually do it like every 3 days. And I know now with wearing a mask all the time, it's like my lips just don't get the moisture that they need because you don't want to put lipstick on because who's going to see it,
Right.
under the mask, and it's drying out your lips. So
Mhm.
just to remove the dead skin, you want to use a lip scrub. And to
Okay.
remove it from your face, you want to use what we have is called microdermabrasion. And it's to exfoliate to get the distance. Because what happens is if you don't exfoliate, that dead skin that gets trapped on your, left on your face, it gets trapped in your pores. And what will happen is you'll begin to see your pores enlarge. But microdermabrasion exfoliation is also good for other things like ingrown beard hair. I get those chin hairs, I can't stand them. If you get ingrown hair, exfoliation is going to help to break up that skin so that hair can be released so it doesn't leave that scar behind. And it also just helps to brighten and polish your skin to help it look younger looking as well.
Well, I want to give the satin lips away to the
Okay.
next person. Well, I tell you what, the first person that puts their name in the comments. So, ladies, go ahead and put your names in. The first person that will receive the satin lips, and we'll make sure that you get it. And we want to make sure that you get first one only, so we don't
And
get.
I'm gonna match your giving, Lady
Okay.
Perry, with
All right.
the microdermabrasion set. So I
That's
guess
the
the next
facial set.
person.
What
I'm
is that?
sorry.
Is that the facial?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that's the second person you said?
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, once the names get in, we'll make sure we call you. We do what we say we're going to do, and that will be your gift.
There
Okay,
you go.
Tomeka, I want to mention something else. When we're talking about self care, I noticed that, when I was reading some information about self care, it was talking about how important it is uh, just to do some more things like psychological self care. I mean, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many different self cares out there, spiritual self care, balance. And that's what I want to talk about, balance there. Knowing when and when not. When do you just say, okay, enough? When
Right.
do you take a pause and just say, okay, I have to have a balance. I'm too far left and I'm too far right. When is there a balance?
Mm-hmm.
So,
So I've begun to really prioritize my life in the effect of, okay, there's so many things that I can do, you know, but what should I be doing? What is actually productive? What is actually advancing, myself, my family, the kingdom? That really is how I look at it.
mhm.
When you see, when you've gone too far left or right, when you
You really
begin to,
do.
yeah, when you begin to experience heaviness,
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how you know you've gone too far. What you're doing isn't really adding to your life,
Mm-hmm.
it's subtracting from your life. And sometimes we make the mistake of, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. Some people live in a bubble of perfectionism, you know, or this bubble of, I got to keep up, or I want to be like, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And it's like that is a prison.
Right.
And
People
unfortunately,
even do that for social media. I know someone, I was somewhere, and the person kept going back to the page to see how many people liked them. And I made the comment, who cares who liked, you know? And but then I realized that was important to that person.
yeah.
And then I was able to minister to them
Mhm.
about that, because you were very concerned who was liking your picture,
Yeah.
and then was feeling some kind of way when she was not getting the response she thought she should be getting.
Right.
Somewhere inside there was a problem.
Right.
So it gave me an opportunity to minister to that person. But
Hmm.
you're so right. Who likes me? That's important to some people.
Right. Exactly. And unfortunately, anytime you look for external validation, you will always end up empty handed.
Yeah.
You will always end up disappointed, because that's not where it comes from. It's not external. But getting back to the balance.
Mm-hmm.
So be wise enough to recognize, okay, it's too much.
Yes.
What can I do? Where do I need to pull back? And prioritize that. You know, do I really need to do this right now? You
Mm-hmm.
know, do I really need to be here right now? Can you miss out? You know, people, when my kids were coming up, they were in sports and cheerleading, and I was in school. So we were all in school at the same time, and they had extracurricular activities. And sometimes I couldn't make it. And someone would say, "Girl, why weren't you there?" And it's not like I don't want to be there. It doesn't mean I don't love my child, you know, doesn't mean I don't want to support them. But in that moment, you know, that wasn't what was priority. Now I could have went, you know, could have went and spent 4 hours there and then came back and been in a crunch trying to get something else done. It's about knowing that it's okay to say I can't. It's okay to say no, and being able to have that moment to get that balance without feeling guilty,
Yeah, I think
without
when you're involving children, it's sitting them down and telling them where mom is or where
mm,
dad is. I'm in school, and I'm a single mom. I'm trying. I'm here for children, and you're
yeah,
going in four different directions plus your own direction. It's a matter of having that conversation so
right,
that they can understand. And then when I can be there, I can be there. But it's not that I don't want to be there.
right,
I desire to be there. I just can't be in all these places at one time.
exactly,
So
exactly,
time management, stress management, all that's involved in what you were, explaining to your children and what you were doing at that time.
right, right.
Mhm.
And thankfully, my children have always had that open dialogue, you
Yeah.
know, and they knew. I'm so thankful, when my kids were coming up, and it was in, the generation of the 2000s, because I had my first son in 99, and technology was really taking off, and most kids had games and all these different things, electronic devices, and my kids didn't have that for a long time, you know.
Oh, I
So with the
understand.
absence of those things left the opportunity for us to conversate a lot, and spend time at the library. And so they were actually able to see, what mama was doing. They
Yeah.
weren't distracted by being locked into the phone. You know, I think now, with children always have a device in their hand. And so they're paying less attention to what's going on in the house, because their attention is always in what they're doing on their phone. But my kids, it was like they knew, and it was never them like, Mom, why didn't you come? Because they knew, it would be other people. And that's why you have to be careful. One thing in self-care and finding a balance, block out noise, because everyone has an opinion. Everyone, people will have an opinion about you even when they're standing over your body when you're in the casket. You're never going to escape that, but I don't have to let that get in. I block that. I am focused on what God has for me, what I'm doing, how I'm going to get, Tamia in college, or what my grandbaby's doing, or I'm so focused on all these different things and what God is leading me to do in those things. Other people's opinion, they might as well keep it.
Don't even matter. And you know what? You mentioned about blocking out everyone else's noise. Sometimes you have to block out the noise in your own head too.
That's right. That's right. Because we can be our own worst enemy. Yes. We can be our own worst enemy. So whenever I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I'll have a thought, I can't do this, or I used to be trapped in I'm not good enough. I just shared that on social media about a week ago. I was trapped in I'm not good enough. And did that hold me down from so many things, opportunities that I missed because I could only see myself through a lens of I'm not good enough in comparison to somebody else. It caused me to totally ignore my gifting, the hard work I put in, to educate myself, because what a lot of people don't know is I actually dropped out of high school, in my senior year. In my senior year, but then 10 years later, I did get a GED at that time, but 10 years later, I went into community college and then started that journey with education. Even still doing all that, I was still locked into, well, I'm not going to apply for this internship because I'm not good enough. I'm not going to apply for that job opportunity because I'm not good enough. We can hold ourselves back from so many things when we don't see who we really are, and when we don't know who we are, and when we don't see what God sees. Yeah. And so even now,
how important is affirmations?
Oh, affirmation is like drinking water. Yeah. Every day. I have to affirm myself every day.
Affirm yourself.
Yeah, every day. Apostle said this morning on Monday Morning Encounter, he said that you may have left your past, but your past is still reaching for you, And so those thoughts that I had for years, because I had them so long, so they're not going to quietly go away.
That's right.
They coming back. They keep reaching in. You call me and say, Tomeka, will you give a presentation on my show? I say, yeah, but then as soon as I hit send, here come my thought, girl, you can't do that. What you gonna get up there and say?
And you would have called me back, I would have said, girl, if you don't go in there and get whatever and don't call me back. I want to take a no. Look here, I want to say no, but I'm not taking a no.
Often you may, like my daughter, she'll see me and I'm like 1, 2, like I'm knocking the thoughts out. They come. We can't control what comes in, but I love the Apostle Paul said we can take every thought captive. Right. We can take every thought captive and make it obedient. Any thought that comes try to set itself up against the true knowledge of God, we can make that thought obedient to Jesus Christ. And so when I am reading Ephesians because that's really where I started in learning how God sees me. I'm loved and lavished in love. I'm chosen. I'm forgiven. I'm his friend. I've been adopted as a daughter. All these things. He has plans for me. Before he created the world, he knew what Tomeka Blanks was going to do. I have been masterfully created, beautiful, radiant,
Mhm.
unashamed, all these things, So I just use the word. I learned
Yes,
that the word,
that's
yes,
it.
I
Mm.
use the word to affirm myself. And then I also use, the things that I'm good at. God has birthed the gift of writing. I've always known that I've had something to say.
Mhm.
So, it's like, girl, you're a writer, you're an encourager, you naturally can draw people to you, you're a person of influence, you have a great capacity to love, and that's something that I really cherish about myself. I'm genuine and down to earth, and I can love. You
Mhm.
know, Someone told me if we cut you open, love will just come out, and that was the best thing.
Well, that's a compliment. That's a
Yeah.
compliment that they
Mhm.
gave you. You know, you're talking about the affirmations and all. On November the 9th, ladies, we are going to have a virtual vision party. So November the 9th, mark your calendars. You start registering. Matter of fact, you can register today. November the 9th at 7 p.m., a virtual vision party. We're going to talk about our goals, our visions, from what is it, November to December, and then in January we'll revisit where we're going. We want to look at what are our wins, what have been our losses, what have we achieved? Because a lot of times, if you ask someone to write a list of things, they can tell you what all bad has happened in 2020, but what has happened that was great? It had to be something that if you could just really think about, that did work. Hey, I didn't even think about that because we focus so much on other things that don't even matter. You know, some things don't even matter. But I need you to be a part of that virtual vision party. So go ahead and register at www.woric.org and under the events tab, and then we'll give you more information. Want you to be a part of that night. We're going to actually have a party. We're giving away prizes. We're going to have lots of fun. And you need to be a part of that because you need to know that by the end of the year where you really are. You need to locate where you are. Once again, Tomeka has been such a blessing to us, and talking about self care, talking about makeup. Maybe one day she'll come back and have a model, or maybe me. You can model. I can be your model. Yeah, you
Exactly.
can do that, and show us how to put on our makeup.
Yes.
I know you probably been working with me for quite some time because even today I was like, now what is this for? But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But sometimes people just need someone to show them, okay, the contour and what else is it?
And
Uh,
highlighting
highlight
and
and all that. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not gotten that down yet, but I'm improving. But yeah, so I'll be your model, and then
Okay.
put it on and some other things, and we'll do the lips and
Yeah.
cleaning the face. We'll do all of that.
Yes.
So we'll give you a demonstration of what you need to do. So,
Yes.
is there anything else you would like to share with us before we go?
Uh, I just want to say, ladies and even gentlemen who may be watching, self care it's very very important. Please begin to prioritize it in your life because again, it is about you, and it's okay. It's supposed to be about you. You want to make sure that you are getting your cup filled to the overflow. That way you can continue to give and take care and be there for all the things that you have going on in your life. I know life is busy. I know that life is uncertain, but you can still use this time to take care of yourself and fill your cup.
Yes. You are important and you are a priority. And you need to
Yes.
remember that. You need to say that to yourself. I'm important and I'm a priority. I
Yes.
have value. I shared that with someone. I said, you don't value yourself. You need to know that there's value.
Yeah.
There's a tag on you that has value on it. You're valuable and you're more valuable than you even know. So sometimes
Yeah.
we just don't know if we've not been environment or in a circle that tells us, or we've heard it growing up. If you only heard certain other things and not heard that you're valuable, no, you don't have to come down. You need to, rise above whatever that is. And just hearing things that would build you up, you grow up, and then when you hear it, you don't even believe that about yourself.
Right.
But you are
Right.
valuable. Each and every
Yes.
one of you on this show today, hey, you are valuable. And I want to thank Tomeka once again because she's valuable too, of course.
So are you, Lady Perry.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for sharing on today. We're looking forward to having you back. So we'll talk about that. So you can work me over from the top to the bottom, and we'll work on some self care. And she's going to help us out, sharing with us on how to take care of our face, even our hands. We
Yes.
need to do that too. We need to do
Hmm.
our hands and our lips. So, hey, congratulations to our winners. Thank you so much for tuning in on today. God bless you. I look to see you on next Tuesday, and then also for the virtual vision party. So remember, 2 Corinthians 2:14 says, "Thanks be unto God who always causes us to triumph. You have the victory. You are a winner and you are successful." God bless you and have a good day. Thank you.